What the world needs now more than anything else around. In the years leading up to 1973, forces from invisible to flamboyant trapped in closets of their own in societies making labored to change a particular set of 81 words. Until then, even psychiatrists who felt themselves fitting this definition were so terrified of their sick secret and the havoc it could wreak that they met only underground. Until 1973, these 81 words stained the pages of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, Psychiatry's Bible, effectively marking an entire population as sick. The doctors responsible for these words felt they were doing God's work, fought for treatment, not disgrace, tried removing the stigma of a moral failing by calling it a mental illness instead. Except many of those millions of homosexual Americans didn't feel sick at all. But because of the 81 words that defined homosexuality as pathology, they lived in constant fear of losing their families, losing their livelihood, losing their lives. Those 81 words are gone from psychiatry's Bible, but have mutated into razor-sharp slurs hurled from car windows and loud mouths backed by louder fists, into policies and violent power pageants with a long and bloody trail of casualties, all for lack of the one word we all need. What the world needs now more than anything else around. 167 other words have not yet been struck from those pages, words that give license to professionals to police our most basic definitions of ourselves. Some of us fit easily into the polarity with which we are presented at birth, while some of us know from early on that something doesn't fit. Like Lily, whose mom let her grow her hair out the summer before starting second grade at a new school where no one would know her as William. Lily, whose father marched her to the barbershop the day before her new life was to begin. Lily, whose waves were buzzed off like a boy's, whose mother put a clippy in her hair and cried sending her to school. Her brave daughter, who longs just to be a normal kid. A little speck in the vast universe that couldn't care less about the accoutrement, but instead about the heart hidden beneath them. People like Lily are taunted and traumatized, tortured for stepping outside the lines between boy and girl, diagnosed with 167 words that spell gender identity disorder. That diagnosis, a twisted gift that is a mind declared sick in order to be granted a doctor's permission to the bodily autonomy that should be our unfettered right. We make sick what is different when we cannot fathom breaking boundaries because at least for the ill we can feel compassion. We build boxes with stark limits, and those who bleed through the borders are lost, told that liminal spaces are sick places and the key to their health is in the hands of the box makers. So here's to the spaces in between, the people that breathe in them, and the only word in this world that matters. What the world needs now more than anything else around is love, sweet love. It was the summer of my requisite post-graduation identity-searching trip to Europe. And in my last days in Paris, as all cliched soul searchers should, I walked the left bank with a friend discussing the meaning of life. The greater part of the conversation I've forgotten, but in the years since, one phrase has remained clear. As we hit upon the topic of despair, she said, depression? It's just a lack of gratitude. Having more than once defied the clutches of that particular black hole, I balked, ego-smarting at her assessment and vehemently countered her point. After mulling it over for years, though, I think I've finally come to understand. See, she wasn't trying to blame anyone for their darkness. Like me, she had fought those demons, tried medicating her way to a livable balance between numbness and heart-splitting agony. No, what she was really trying to say was that depression, far from a petty lack of thanks, is really about forgetting. Forgetting how to find the magic in the mundane moments, how to look the mirror in the face and smile, how to remember that the light switch was right there all along. I've had days when thunderstorms threatened to drown me in their downpour. Mornings when the sun never seemed to want to rise out of bed, whole months when the forecast seemed permanently set on gloom. I've run miles in flight of fear and self-loathing, found solace in the arms and beds of friends, and buried myself in busy work. Some methods work better than others, and far be it from me to prescribe a one-size-fits-all cure, but on those days when I find myself wallowing in the mire of my own misfortune, I've found that the best cure for blues by heartache is to sit and invite it in with, well, maybe not open arms, but arms at least not crossed like armor in defense, to converse with that heartache a little while, explore its many faces, then grateful for its lessons, see it to the door when it is time to let go. And when I open that door to see the sun peeking out from behind the gray, I think of Hafiz, that love hymn to God slinging Sufi poet who speaks to me in tongues so sweet, I swear some days I might overdose on the bliss of being alive. Okay, maybe Hafiz isn't your thing. Maybe it's an unexpected letter in the mail, a toddler's grin, a major chord. It doesn't matter as long as it's true, because there's nothing to break the gray like the pure, poetic reminder of your connection to everything. Joy is our birthright, not there to be earned or deserved. It is ours just by virtue of being here. So when I can see in your guarded eyes that you don't believe me, I will hold a mirror up to your face with a message written on it in bright red lipstick saying, you are loved, you are seen, you are wanted, you are needed, until you understand that the universe knew what it was doing when it made you. And when I see that spark of remembrance light your spirit, I will speak to you like Hafiz speaks to me, saying, walk tall, child, with the divine inalienable grace bestowed upon you in every moment. Walk tall, child, each step on the beauty path bringing you closer to God. Walk tall, child. Be the love you seek, and you will find it in every breath.